fashion.
She's the eye of the storm right there.
Yep. So amazing picture.
Eye of the tiger.
So next one, Josh. This one's yours.
Josh.
Okay.
Another great one.
So, I wonder if this is an insight into Hosan's psyche. But you've got a dragon, a very cool dragon, who is eating a people sandwich, or about to eat just about to enjoy a nice people sandwich. Town in the background burning up. He's got a person impelled on tail spikes, another one underneath the claws. It's just a fun picture, and it's just a fun drawing.
You know what I was going to say about this one? You said there's like a burning city in the background, but is it a school? Because you have a clock tower and you have a flag.
Tower, yeah. Well, and there's a church on the other side.
And he did talk about his sort of non-traditional background and education through illustration. I think.
Yes.
Maybe
he started formal education on art, and then left, and then did it again, and then left, and went into graphic design. Yeah. So maybe, and you've got our first picture. Does he have some sort of problem with school kids at schools and stuff like that keeps coming out in this? Like Michael Crichton always had trouble with theme parks.
You know, you might be onto something. So I wonder if the message that this fantastic artist is sending out is, I tried going to school, and you have to conform to their way of doing it. This is not a guy who's ready to conform to anyone else's standards, and he's very clearly, this is what I am. You guys can like it or not, but this is what I am. And he's getting big business now. He's working with some of the best in comics.
Bring it back to that comics again. Who is the artist on Batman with Scott Snyder? James Tynion IV's friend. Who is the artist on that? Greg Capullo. Renowned for Spawn. And he was drawing Spawn when people didn't think he was drawing Spawn. And his career also started the same way. He loved to sketch, he loved to draw, and he would spend hours drawing people in city parks and in city areas. So he didn't have he had a very non-standard education for illustration, and he is probably the hottest artist at DC Comics right now.
Yeah. We're excited to see where this Boom Studios gig is actually going to move him along to.
If you're out and you like comics, you like art, you want to see careers boom, Hosan is one to watch out for.
And I just want to say boom, shalaka laka boom.
Boom, shalaka laka. So now this one actually, I mean, a lot of the pieces, I mean, the eating the people sandwich was sort of like silly, you know what I mean? It's a mean-looking monster, but it's a pretty fun picture. And I mean, the kids are disturbing, but also not all that, you know. This is disturbing, but beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Like it has a beauty in the. He also seems to have a thing for eyes.
Yeah, where are the eyes and the capturing of the eyes,
right?
The blankness of the eyes, and
right.
What is the symbolism?
Yeah, I think that's
well. And I think if I had like a whole bunch of like bamboo skewers through my head, I would be upset. You know what I mean?
She seems very calm.
She seems like like it's not bothering you too much. Where maybe she would even be like, "Hey, could you help me out? Could you help someone out here? Put their eyes back in their skull."
Or has your brain been so pierced by some sort of detrimental knowledge that you need to pull your eyes literally out of your skull to see the truth?
Right.
Very tormented.
Yes.
It's so Hellraiser.
Yeah.
This harkens back to Hellraiser. This looks like, what are they called? The Cenobites?
The Cenobites, yeah.
So she looks like and by the way, he somewhat androgynous.
Oh yeah.
Is also
good point.
So, you know, there's some quote down here.
Well, we either have lyrics or we have a poem.
Right. Man, this would be a guy I'd love to sit down and just chat with, and be prepared to get very honest ansers. And
to see if he'll Skype with us.
Some sangria.
And have some sangria.
Yeah.
I don't practice sangria.
Sangria.
Had it. Oh, wrong song.
That's it. Wrong song. There's a sangarias.
Yeah.
I don't put satcheria on my sandwich. Okay. Artwork. We're back to it.
Seriously,
The blood red background.
The fingernails that are chipped and damaged. Why are they chipped and damaged? What has she been clawing at?
Right.
Her eyes.
Well, her eyes apparently.
Well,
but like what else?
What else? I mean, there's more. There's a story here. We're seeing the after effect of something. What caused these skewers?
Right.
What did she do to deserve it?
Right. Well, and the eyes. It's not the eyes aren't just gone from her head.
She's holding him.
She's holding them, and look at the shadow. There's something else in there. The shadow on the eyelids are saying, like, if her eyes were still there, I would just say they were closed. But there's something in there. There's a shadow that's coming down off of her eyes, so there's something flat in there.
Yeah, it's the flatness of evil.
It's evil.
What is in there? Evil. Someone took her eyes. She took her own eyes out so that she could have more room for evil.
There's not enough room for evil here. Now we're done.
And if I could get some skewers stat, skewers.
Well, and the other thing is there's shadows, but there's no blood. There's a little bit of blood. There's blood on her lips. But I mean, I don't know. We could try this out, and I could go get some of the bamboo skewers I've got upstairs, and we could nail them through your noggin. But I'm pretty sure there would be like a little bit of leaking at that point. And there's just nothing. So is she dead? Is she dead inside? Is that what that means?
I don't know. I mean, I can't. I'm looking forward to the days when we just totally get all philosophical and like artistic about.
And then we realize someone's screen name is Screen Liquor.
Yeah, like okay, so I've already done that. But who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the death of the artist, right? It's like they intended something, but
Absolutely.
then they have nothing to do with nothing to do with it. But we get to have our interaction
by the interpretation of
by
what
the interpretation.
Right.
That may have nothing to do with the intent, but that's not the point.
The audience gets to fill in
Right, we're
their
part of,
opinion as well.
We're a part of this now that the art is out there. We're a part of it, and we get to have a piece of it.
Interestingly enough, red, very very red, warm tones, and then you've got the red background. You've got red on red on red on red on red, red fingernails. Interestingly enough, if you go over, not that I want to, but go down, right there, up. Look at that. Pink on pink on pink. There's some blue, but there's I don't know. There's something here.
A contrast.
I don't know. So go
or is
up
there something to the colors.
purple on purple
It's
on
the way
purple
he
on
works with
purple.
colors.
Yeah.
So there's like he falls in love. He looks at something and he thinks, this is a purple shot, and I need to do it in purple.
Maybe that's the emotion he brings with it. That to me, purple is this color.
I don't know, but I tell you, this is a blissful paradise for someone who likes to just look into it and read into it. So
Take apart pieces of
thank
art.
you, Josan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Josan Gonzalez. This artist is F1X-2. Please go to this artist. Give him a llama.
Does he do commissions?
The website did not say anything about commissions.
He could be a bit busy right
It's
now.
probably
I would
a bit busy,
imagine.
that's true.
Coloring for Boom. and-
Yeah, I think he's probably tied up. But
So, throw up a few of his sketches in the gallery.
Oh.
He has some wonderfully sensual sketches that are a contrast to some of the darker.
yeah, absolutely.
And the Lannister. Who doesn't love the Lannister?
Oh yeah, here we got Tyrion. We were gonna say like he works in moleskins.
Yes,
That's
that's right. He did bring that
so
up.
such a neat medium. I love the having that.
Chris, when you say moleskin, what do you mean?
Oh, it's a little. They're little notebooks.
Like
They're
a
little
little
moleskin
journal book.
notebooks. They're like journals, but there's some of them that you can get that are blank. And so you get them and
Is that page something special?
no, it's a moleskin. That's the
It's just
thing.
a moleskin sketchbook.
Yeah, it's saddle stitched, and it has like you can go to your local Barnes and Noble
Barnes and
or
Nobles.
online, and they're journals. Like it was Hemingway. He didn't sketch, but he used a moleskin notebook to keep track of to do it.
I
So
totally.
it's just one of those things that you like.
I knew that, viewers.
totally knew that.
I was just trying to
Oh,
get.
thanks, Josh, for making me look smart, like being able to explain this stuff, man. I appreciate that, giving me some of the spotlight.
I really didn't know.
But working in a moleskin, I mean, this is a physical book. This is just
Yeah,
with
you
two
can
blank
see
pages, and you
that
can see
he's-
the seam. I just have a lot of respect for. I mean, I have a lot of respect for all sorts of art, but I mean a particular respect for this because I've tried this many times, and I think I have 4 or 5 blank moleskins that are very nice and cost me, 10% less because I'm a BNN member.
Well,
but they all sit there with nothing in them.
pull inspiration. I use a version of a moleskin. I don't have a nice moleskin, but because I don't want to get ruined. And this is a good tip for any of our artist viewers that are, hey, what do I do about inspiration? And I have a moleskin too, and it's blank. This is what I do, and you can use it in any sort of blank scenario here. But every time I go camping or hiking, I'll try and give myself 20 or 30 minutes to just sit down with my pencils and just sketch something. And if it's terrible, you'll never see it in my DeviantArt page. But if it was great, I'll put it in there. And mostly that's just for me, so I can remember my sort of settings. But that'd be a great tip for you, because I know you've got on tons of amazing settings. Black Cat Comics, for example, was the cover to Salt City Strangers. So
No, thanks. Yeah, it is one of those things that what you just mentioned, though, is there is a part that sits there and is like, oh, is this worth putting in my moleskin? I've paid so much money for this, and it's like, oh,
So you're
all I
just
want
too
in here...
just put something in
Just
there.
put something in there. That totally makes sense.
Enter blank experience here. You know, if you go to ball games,
Right.
bring your moleskin.
You know,
makes
one
sense.
one other thing that Hosan, I know this may actually be the longest podcast we've ever done, but we're really getting into this, so let's just let it flow. But he also mentions, so we always ask, what advice would you give someone on how to get the most out of using DeviantArt? And his advice was similar to some other advice we've seen, but it's like, be active. Go out, find artists you like, comment on their stuff, get them to comment on your stuff. You'd be so amazed at how much interaction these other artists are willing to give their peers, and support and guidance. And
Cheap
you know,
tips,
you have
cheap guidance.
yeah, absolutely. So good stuff, very very good stuff. This has been a fun trip for all of us.
Cool. Well,
I buckled up.
We are totally we've been out of time for about 5 minutes.
They're playing us off.
They're playing us off. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay. Where do you find us, guys?
DeviantArtPodcast.com.
Perfect. And so if you would like your gallery spotlighted in a shorter version of the podcast than this particular one,
A more reasonably length.
make sure, absolutely, get us a copy, or get us a note on DeviantArt at Hoffmangler or at DeviantArtPodcast.com. And don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for coming along for the ride.
Say goodnight, Mark.
Chris.
Ciao for now.
Ah, good night, Chris.